here, the Create stage, just getting some stuff set up, and we'll be live in 10 minutes. Well, we're live now, but we will be actually talking to you. We got motion capture we're going to be doing today for the Green Dude animation. Got some live recordings, some mic pre-testing.
And kiss you, understand this mess. You know I miss you. I can defend myself till the end of time. You've seen all this fucked up shit between her and I. It's hard to rewrite words, and I'll swallow my pride. But the universe spoke, and here we lie. So touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day. Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day, touch it all day, make it rain.
Some live music from yours truly, Killer Priest, in the background. I got that projection in the live room. That's an MP4, and I'm using Resolume Arena in the garage. And unfortunately, MP4s don't work well with Resolume, so you have to convert those files to DXV3s, or just make the original a DXV3. But I'm going to convert one real quick through Resolume's Alley app.
Your hips and ass like a ninja, think about you all day and night. Too many curves and grooves, and you move so right. I watch you read your book and I follow your eyes. I'm a man in this world, appreciate your kind. Touch it all day, make it rain.
Whoa, sorry about that.
Touch it all day. Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day. Licking her thighs, let her rise. Look in her eyes, about to arrive. Sucking her toe while she's screaming for more. Fast and slow, take off your clothes. How much can I just touch? Alright, I just open your butt, touch. Oh, you got a ring on your tongue. Kiss me, please, leave a ring on your buns. Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day. Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day. You don't know what you do to my feel, girl. Things make it so hard to be. I like to take your face and kiss you, understand this mess. You know I miss you. I can defend myself till the end of time. You see all this fucked up shit between her and I. It's hard to rewrite words, and I'll swallow my pride. But the universe spoke, and here we lie. So touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day. Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all
the live room, adjust a couple things.
Like a ninja, think about you all day and night. Too many grooves and grooves, and you move so right. I watch you read your book.
Also,
and
I have
follow
a
your
artist
eyes.
interview today with
appreciate your guide.
the infamous
Touch it all day,
TJ
make it rain,
Travelby.
Make it rain. Touch it, touch it all day. Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it, touch it all day.
Look in her eyes, the temperature rise. Look in her eyes, he about to arrive. Stuck in her toe while she's screaming for more. Fast and slow, take off your clothes. How much can I just touch? Alright, I just open your butt, touch. Oh, you got a ring on your tongue. Glaze, leave a ring on your buns.
Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day. Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day. You don't know what you do to my feel, girl. Things make it so hard to be. I'd like to take your face and kiss you. Understand this mess? You know I miss you. I can defend myself till the end of time. You've seen all this fucked up shit between her and I. It's hard to rewrite words, and I'll swallow my pride. But the universe spoke, and here we lie.
So
touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day. Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day. Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day. Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day.
yeah, baby. On town. All day, always. You want to
You don't know what you do to my feel, girl. You make it so hard for me. The way your lips caress your glass, I wanna be inside your hips and ask. Like a ninja, think about you all day and night. Too many curves and grooves, and you move so right. I watch you read your book, and I follow your eyes. I'm a man in this world, appreciate your guide. Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day. Touch it all day, make it rain, make it rain. Touch it all day.
Look in her eyes, the temperature rise. Look in her eyes, he about to arrive. Stuck in her toe while she's screaming for more. Fast and slow, take off your clothes. How much can I just touch? Alright, I just open your butt, touch. Oh, you got a ring on your tongue. Glaze, leave a ring on your buns.
Touch it all day, make it rain.
Gotta check these mics. Oh, getting some funky feedback. Not quite sure what that is. jam on this. Groove Portal, Kill a Priest, Long. Another Burton L original with Kill the Priest. Mike's freaking out. Alright. Get this thing. Alright, get this thing kicked off. Having camera issues, having mic issues. What's going on? Hello, beautiful world. How are you? I'm Burton L, and this is Create Stage. And we have a laundry list of stuff to talk about today. And getting set up for these things are it's just, you know, it's a lot. There's a lot to manage. This is the 4th episode. I missed, should be the 5th through health reasons. I missed last week. I'll do my best to avoid that and keep people informed as to what's going on. But this is still just a slow build. I'm not expecting, even though I'm live, for there to be anybody watching this right now. But if there is, how's it going? Thanks for being here. Love your show. So we're going to do some motion capture, live motion capture for the Green Dude NFT series today. We're going to test 3 different mic pre's. Well, technically 2. Well, no, technically 3. Or actually, technically 10. Let me explain. So we have a Personas M80 that we modified with Burr Brown input and output transformers. And we have the Lola mic 500 mic pre 500 series mic pre kit that we built, and we've got 2 of them. They're matched. They're a matched pair. So we're going to test those. The M80 is an 8-channel mic pre, so that's where I'm getting 10 total. But technically, there's the Personas M80, and then there's 2 Lola 500 series mic pre's. So we're going to test all that. Depending, we might have a special guest tonight. the infamous TJ Travel Bee, and I'm gonna try to fix this camera. Let's see here. Oh, there you go. Technology. So, updates. It's been 2 weeks since I stopped doing everydays because I had to transition. I had to, and I'm still working on it, finish my reel for, obviously, to get work. My new reel. And my reel is actually going to be a kind of a reel to, show potential companies and clients and studios what I do with 3D and audio, and also a sort of a trailer for the NFT Green Dude series. So I'm really excited about that, and that's what we're going to be doing the motion capture for, is for the Green Dude and other okay, I'm getting some complaints that the mic is freaking out. All right, give me a minute here. Okay. We are setting up how we sounding now. Test. Microphone check. Test 1 2 1 2. Yeah, honestly, I expect this stuff to work, but when it doesn't, what are you going to do? Okay, white noise is gone. Looks like we're back up, and my lovely partner is keeping an eye on things while she's working, and it sounds like things are okay. I sound good now. Got the clear. Sorry about that, everybody. So I will start from scratch, and we are featuring the Hairball Audio Lola 500 series mic pre-kit that we bought 2 in series for stereo purposes, and we built these kits, and we're going to test these mic pre's. The other mic pre that we're going to test is the Personas M80. This is the second variation of that mic preamp, and we modded it with Burr Brown input and output transformers. And the only difference, because I have 2, one of them's for sale, the one that we're actually testing today, is the difference is that the original Personas M80s back in the mid to late 90s, I want to say, used Jensen transformers, and they switched to a different type of transformer, and some people prefer the Jensens and some people prefer the ones that are in this model. So later we'll be able to do an A/B between the 2 mods. It's both a pretty simple mod, just adding the input and output transformers. It technically doesn't really affect the sound with the output transformers according to my research, but we actually have, and we will be testing that as well. So we're not only going to test this unit today, but eventually on down the line, we'll test the other M80 with the Jensen transformers. We'll compare them back to back, and we will also compare whether the output transformers change the color of the sound versus obviously the input transformers, which do. So that's one thing we're going to be doing today. The infamous Timothy James Travelby will be with us hopefully tonight, and we're going to do our first artist interview. Him and I are going to jam and write some music, and so that should be fun. And I think we might even do a couple of his most recent mixes. We'll do a mix review, so we'll kind of go over where it's at, where we think it's at. I'm not set up at the moment to pipe in the right and left out of the audio computer to OBS, so you could hear exactly what we're dealing with, but we'll see how that works out. Because ultimately, when I start doing the when we start doing the mix reviews, I would like the audience to hear the difference, because essentially what we're going to do is we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what we'd like to hear. We'll talk about what we don't like, and then we're going to adjust it, and then we're going to come back to it, and then we'll A/B the two and go from there. Here is this dang camera goofing out. All right, so the other thing is we're doing motion capture today. If you see, I have this table. It's actually an ancient African tribesman's bed that I inherited from my family. It's not my family's bed. It's a collector's piece. But anyways, I'm using it to act as a sort of pod as I'm recreating some of the motion capture for the Green Dude animations. And we'll be doing a couple other activities for the motion capture, going over how I do motion capture, which is through Microsoft Kinect, Xbox infrared camera, the second one, the Kinect 2, I believe it's called. And then yeah, and that's pretty much what we have on the agenda for tonight. I've said this before, but I do plan on tagging all of these so you can kind of scroll through and you understand what we're doing at what part. You know, the first one was like 4.5 hours long. The second one was a couple hours. Third one was 50 minutes. Today might be 2 hours, might be 5 hours. And it's a lot to go through. And eventually I will also cut up and offer certain segments of these live broadcasts as their own YouTube videos, so people can actually cut to the chase and learn some shit. I know when I go to seek out something and I'm Googling how to do this or insight on that, or I want to check this, and you see this video and it's 5 minutes of somebody talking about what they do in their products and all that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. But, this is different. This is a live broadcast. This is me and my opinions and my bullshit. Another thing, kind of got jammed into getting the new iPhone Pro Max, iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's a big freaking phone. I have the 11 Pro Max, and it's an incredible camera, and I think I'm going to keep it. That's actually the camera I'm using in the garage right now, or the live room. It's technically a garage. It's technically a live room. So if you see that up in the up in the corner there, it looks like this. No, it doesn't. Let's change that. And I would like to go over some of my setup. Okay, media source. So this is the live room. There's 4 projector screens that you're seeing right now. We've got the 3 behind the drum kit is displaying some everydays, as is the large 16 by 9 foot screen. And that screen is actually your typical regular, the large screen is your typical regular projection screen material. It's a stretchy material. And the ones behind the drum kits are kind of interesting. They're also sound baffles. And they use a type of material called nanoweave, which has microscopic holes through it. I don't know if technically they're microscopic. You can kind of see them, but it's an HD projection screen material that can be utilized for any projection screen, including 3D and 4K and high definition projection screen material. The reason why it's porous, or the reason why I use this in its application, is to create a sound baffle to absorb and help control the sound in the room. Because obviously, not only is this our NFT studio, NFT gallery, it's also a recording studio. So you can't just put a bunch of screens up there and expect sound to not jump off and reflect in every which way that you don't want it to. So I've got a couple dozen baffles, all different sizes, sound baffles inside the studio, helping control the sound in there so we can get the best sounding recording we can get. So 12-foot ceilings to the bottom of the rafters, so maybe, almost 13 foot up top. And I don't have any sound baffles up in the ceiling at this point. I've been getting a great drum sound out of what I've got, and that's kind of how I base my live rooms around, is I tune them so I can get a good drum sound. And so then I go from there. Depending on what we're doing, I generally separate all the different amps, vocals, guitars, but we can do a full-on live recording in there too. And generally when I have multiple musicians working in there at the same time, they're on headphones and their gear is isolated in other parts of the studio. Looks like we just got confirmation. Mr. Travelbee is on his way. Sounds good. Period. Voice to texting live on YouTube. LOL. All right, so Travelbee's one of my best friends. I've been working with him for probably as long as I've known the guy creatively, over 20 years now. And I help him with mixing, mastering, production. We work on projects together. We work on each other's projects. He's played on a couple of my everyday jams. And he's just an awesome dude. Incredible guitar player, singer, singer-songwriter. And that's the long and short of Travelbee. So he will be joining us probably within the next hour. Let's see, is there anything else I can cover? Yeah, so like I said, I'm using the iPhone 11 Pro Max to shoot the video in the live room that you see up in the corner. I'm using the GoPro Hero 8 right here, and I'm using a Sony Alpha 6300. Why can't I ever remember the name of these things? Because I have too much shit to remember. And I always want to call it the 8500, but it's not. And I'm just going to go walk up to it. Oh my God. I'm going to list all this gear because I definitely sound like a dumbass. But it's an older Alpha. It shoots 4K. I mainly use it for video. Right now there is a super wide angle lens. If you can't tell, let's see where we at there. Yep. Super wide angle lens. And so those are the 3 cameras I'm currently using. I think I'm going to get another GoPro because they're handy as fuck and relatively inexpensive. And of course, I want a new Alpha, Sony Alpha, when I can afford it. This is a smaller sensor, not the large format. This Sony I have, so with the exception of a couple lenses I have, which I have some really nice lenses for this, I'd have to also invest a bunch of money in the lenses. So it's kind of like I get some really great results with this camera in 4K, and everything I do is HD 1920 by 1080. So it's just one of those things, you know. You always want the faster car, the better camera, the nicer guitar, or whatever. But it's a really expensive endeavor when you start talking about lenses. Sure, $2,500 for a camera, no big deal. That's a lot of money. Versus, I don't know, $300-400 for a Hero or a GoPro Hero 8, or technically what I have with the iPhone 11 Pro Max is a 4K camera with a really cool lens. It's got pretty damn good low light, and it's just a really handy device. So I could trade it in and get a bunch of money back towards this new phone, or I could keep it, have a second phone because I have another phone line I can use for it, and then obviously use it for all different camera scenarios. I could also, and I'm really excited about the new phone, the new iPhone, it's got the LiDAR. So I plan on doing, which is partly the big push as to why my plan was changing. I was rolling over. I had to make a decision. So I kind of got shammed into getting a new phone. But one of the reasons why I was really excited about the new 13 Pro Max is because of the LiDAR. I believe all the new 13s have LiDAR, so you don't have to get a Pro. I could be wrong about that. You definitely don't need a Pro Max, but I like big phones. I like big cars. I like big shit. So I'm sticking with the big one. And there's just a lot of really cool options with the Pros. So it is also going to be a work tool. I plan on doing a lot of 3D scans for 3D printing and for NFTs, motion design, all sorts of different 3D applications that I will be building. And I'm currently using an iPad. I think it's the latest regular version. So it's not a Pro. Doesn't have any of the perks. But I've got Procreate, the new Forger I'm using with, that's the Maxon. Forger's like the Maxon modeling. It's kind of like a ZBrush for your iPad. And yeah, it's we can get into that later because I've been having some pretty awesome results in very short amount of time on a regular iPad. And it's like I created this character that I'm going to use with the Green Dude NFTs series, and I was able to airdrop it and then upload it to Dropbox and then bring it into Maximo, and boom, he's doing capoeira, you know. So that comes back to the motion capture that we're going to be doing today, which is going to be me in front of an infrared camera, and And then that's basically, for the most part, how I control my my characters that I design in Cinema 4D and Houdini. Most of my character design is done in Houdini, but like I said, I just made this guy, and you know, it could be better. I could spend more time in it, but in a matter of 45 minutes, I made a really cool character. It's original, Burtonell, you know, artwork, and boom, I had it ready to be controlled by motion capture or Maximo, or, you know, set up and be rigged for your own pleasure as to how you feel like you want to work with your characters in whatever software you use. Although it is a Cinema 4D Maxon product, and I think it's like $14 a month. It comes with the Maxon one, which I pay for, which gives you everything you need. In the Cinema 4D world, Redshift, obviously Cinema 4D. So, anyways, it comes with that monthly subscription, but you can also use it standalone. You can download it for free. I think the service you pay for, so you can actually, I don't even know. So look into that. Forger, it's awesome. And when I go to the live room later, I'll grab my iPad and show you guys how cool this is, because like I said, 45, 50 minutes I'm sitting there just kind of pulling and pushing, as you do in modeling applications, similar to ZBrush. But I also, because it's not ZBrush, and even though ZBrush is brilliant and I use it from time to time, I'm not a wizard at it. But this, I just went at it, and all of a sudden, you know, boom, I'm creating. And it just seemed like a really easy workflow. And that's what I'm about. Path of least resistance. How to get from point A to B to C to D to E to blah, blah, Z as fast as fucking possible. That's critical. So let me bring up some software I've been using to do the motion capture stuff. Now, I use, I think it's called Ippy. Ippysoft is the name of the company. And let me find it first. Yeah. I piss myself off sometimes. That's how organized I am. Not organized. But you know what? This is a process. These broadcasts will get better. The YouTube channel will be more refined. We've got artist interviews coming. We've got artist collaborations coming. And it's you know, it's about exploring every creative avenue that we have within the Create Stage ecosystem, if you will. Come on, man. Where's this freaking... Oh, there it is. Okay, so there's Ippy, IPI, Mocap Studio 4, all right? And then there's Ippy Recorder 4. Ippy Recorder 4 will record multiple regular cameras, you know, any kind of webcam or whatever you can input into your computer, or up to 2 infrared cameras, which is what I have. Infrared for me is just what I've gone with. And I'm talking about how great the GoPro is, and this seems to be a regular scenario. I don't know why it does this, but it just seems to want to, it just wants to change its settings throughout this process on its own. Anyway, so back to the Ippy software. Ippy Mocap is what you record the motion capture and combine that with your animated character or your not animated character. Basically, you start it out in a T pose and then you upload it, and I'll show you how it's done. And then the IPI recorder, so that's the Mocap Studio 4. The IPI recorder is what records the data that IPI Mocap Studio 4 then processes so you can have a final product. Let's see here. So I don't know why. Oh yeah, it's right here. So okay, so I'm going to deselect these, I think. And then select that. Okay. Yeah, and so this is set up this way because you can actually have multiple webcams or whatever, any kind of video input you can get. I think you can have up to 6. And I've never experimented with that. It might work really well. That obviously beats you can. I think they sell a version. So this is the trial version. You get 30 days, and I've tried it before, and it worked out well. So I got another trial version, and that's just for not the IPI Recorder 4. This software right here is free. It's the software, the Mocap Studio 4, which we will be getting into shortly. So you can select all your cameras here, or up to 2 infrared cameras. So I got the Connect 2 for Windows ready, or up to 1, 2, 3, whatever, 6. So I deselected all those, and now that I'm in this this window here, I can go to record video, and now it's seeing me in this kind of colorscape. So what we want to do is set up the background. All right. So right here you've got a start delay. So that's so you can, get the fuck out of the way. And then duration of, let's do it 10 seconds is the max. And I'm just doing that because, the more better, I guess. And what that does is it sets your background. So then when you yourself come into the picture, it can distinguish between what the background was and is, and then the only difference in between that and the background is the object moving, which is you or your dog or whatever you can get. So I'll have a 5-second delay, and then so I'm going to see if these mics are working. One other thing, I'm using Isotope Ozone 5 for the output, and I haven't quite gotten it where I wanted to because, as I'd said before, I want this to be like a very live experience. So it's like you're here with us in the studio, not like I'm just piping the stereo output of, you know, the audio rig. But, you know, eventually we'll do both, or like but anyway, so I'm still fine tuning all this, and we'll get it to sound great. In the meantime, one other thing I'm using, and I will show you how that works, is Splash Top remote. So you see here, that's the studio computer across the room, and bam, I'm controlling the Mac from the main machine here, which is a Windows machine. And so that's kind of basically the whole rig in a nutshell. So I have one computer running this is obviously the audio computer. We got Ableton Live, iTunes, and then on the other Splash Top I have this, which is the Mocap Studio. As you can see, free trial. And I have to use the free trial, which I plan on buying. I think it's like $600 or $700 for this version, which you get to try. And it's pretty awesome. The only reason why I wouldn't buy this is because I'm going to get the a motion capture suit. And the one that I like is $2,500, which I think is very reasonable, especially because I plan on doing a lot of motion capture. And it comes with its own software. So obviously, if I don't need this software, if I don't need to spend $600-700 on this software because I'm spending $2,500 on a suit that has its own software, then I'm not going to do that. So that's pretty much the long and short of that. Okay, so back to this computer. We're running the recorder. All right, I'm going to put this up to 10. And then let's see here. I want this. I want to make sure I get my whole body okay, so, and before we start this, I'm going to give you a little insight into Green Dude and why we're doing this. Okay, so obviously this chair needs to be frick out the way. All right, so I'm going to set the, okay, evaluate background. And yeah, we'll leave that there for now. I think that's good. All right. Whoop. Blammo. So now we got 10 seconds. I think I just fucked it up. Do it one more time. Yeah, I totally fucked it up. All right, I'm gonna stay hidden behind that beam. Five, four, three, two, one. Get the fuck out. 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10. Alright. Shit. Yeah, I'm not. Alright. Alright, so I'm just gonna see. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I can go all the way over to here, and I'm totally out of the freaking thing. Oh! One more time. Background, evaluate background. And I can actually kind of watch it. All right. So now we have our background set. So I started putting my reel together, and yeah, I'm working on multiple projects. That's why I stopped doing the everydays for now. I intend on doing another everyday 30-day banger. I did 32 days this last time, but it was literally like taking on the 384 frames at 24 frames a second, and the music. It's like 16 seconds, right? 16.2 seconds. It's nuts, because if I'm trying to do something new, I was trying to push myself to do something new, it could take freaking all day. If I don't have time to get it done, or I end up not figuring out how to do what I want to do to where it's going to render in less than 2 days, because I was really trying to get anything to render at most like 3 hours. I think the longest was like 5 hours, and that was... So it's just hacking every single thing that you can do, which is also why I was releasing most of them at 1,000 by 1,000, because it's just less pixels to render. And so the whole thing was just... It's just a lot of freaking work. And on top of working and other life stuff, I just needed to refocus the hours of the day. I don't mind working 16 hours a day plus, but I can't do every days forever like some of you badass ninjas out there. But I will revisit this. So anyway, so I'm putting together my reel, and I'm using some of the everydays as part of it, and I'm using some of the Green Dude stuff as part of it. And then it occurred to me that this could also be a trailer for Green Dude, right? And I have all this Green Dude stuff, all these things in projects storyboarded for different scenes and different series of different Green Dude scenarios. And it's kind of turning into its own universe, which is really fucking cool. So I will read to you how this is going to play out, which I'm really excited about. Okay. So a typical reel for a motion designer is just a nicely edited group of different animations and projects you've worked on, or sometimes have just been a part of. Everything I'm doing is all me. It's not stuff anyone else has touched. It's all original. And as a music producer and a songwriter, that's a huge part of what I do as well. So I'm utilizing a classical composition that I had composed and performed. And so it's kind of this epic journey. And it occurred to me, like, to introduce this as like a trailer, like next season on Dexter, So it's going to be like, on this season of Create Stage, join us on an epic journey through space and time. In the future, while distant universes collide, long after the extinction of the human race, Green Dude wakes up after 128 years of cryosleep to find out they are the last remaining human being specimen in the universe. Soaring through a distant universe in his ultra-conscious spaceship Travelbee, Green Dude is informed of their directives. to travel back in time to the year 2025 to learn about their fallen human counterparts during the tipping point to their extinction. While Travelbee holds all the knowledge of humankind, Travelbee cannot give the first-hand experience needed to understand Green Dude's distant relatives and what brought them to their extinction. Join Green Dude on a fact-finding mission through time and space to find a home and to ensure a better outcome for the new human race. So that's the long and short of it. That's a first draft. It's probably going to be a lot longer. And I'm like, okay, wow. Even with that, I just gave myself another whole concept for one of the Green Dude NFTs. And that's him waking up after 128 years of cryosleep. So this whole thing is evolving into just tons of like creative ideas as to how and where we can push things to open up this essentially universe of Green Dude. And Travelbee, who's coming here today, and this is how this plays into it and why Travelbee is the spaceship. So let's say I'm Green Dude and Travelbee is Travelbee. It works a couple of different ways. One, well, okay, real quick, how I got to Travelbee. I took TJ's logo and I turned it into a 3D thing. So I took a 2D logo and it turned out, I'm like, oh, I could turn this into a spaceship. And it is now a spaceship, which you guys have seen in some of my everyday animations. So that's Green Dude's ship. It's also his AI. It's also a character in the Green Dude series. And there'll be other characters, including Brain Dude. And I forgot what I named him, but this new character that I just designed in that Maxon app, Forger. So you can see we're having fun. So anyways, I got to this and I'm like, okay, this is perfect because it's like A, forcing me to get the mocap rig going. B, it's like more content to be developed for this NFT series, the Green Dude NFT series, which is ultimately going to hopefully shed some light on the bullshit of discrimination. And I know exactly where I'm going to go with that now. It was kind of a concept in development, but basically it's going to be a very positive thing for people to experience and enjoy a character that is of this world, but not of this world, and a one of a kind, and how that character, because that character has to go back in time to our current day to figure out what's going on. So it's we'll get into the storylines later. So that's where we're at. So back to the mocap. So we're in IPI Recorder, set up. One thing that I'm really curious as to how I'm going to develop, I never made, and I kind of did this to simplify Green Dude. She, it's not, Green Dude is not one or the other. Green Dude is a non-binary person. So excuse me for using that term. This is form a habit. Green Dude, they do not have a mouth, nose, or lips yet. And I think that's fine. I don't need to do that. I can just make Green Dude start talking one day, and out of a flat face, you see facial features. But I did that originally to limit the work in what I originally thought didn't need a speaking voice. But Green Dude will need a speaking voice. They do need a speaking voice. And this software does allow you to use audio as well. I'm not exactly sure how it does that, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. All right. So back to the story. Green Dude wakes up out of a 128-year cryosleep. So how do we do that? Well, I'm going to show you. What you want to do is go to record right here. Start the delay, we'll do another 10 seconds. And then you want to start off with a T-pose. That's critical. That's what you need in order to sync this up with the Mocap portion of this software suite, okay? So, start recording. 9, 8. Okay. So I want to make sure that I allow it to track my feet. And then I've noticed that it's kind of difficult. It can throw tracking off if you move too abruptly, but let's just see if we can get that, or if your feet come off. Okay. So I'm Green Dude. Say I sleep like this. And I'm waking up out of a cryosleep. Oh my God. Who am I? What am I? 128 years. Want to kind of make sure my arms and feet can still be tracked. I'm going to get a nice yawn. Oh, oh, wow. 128 years. Wow. 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 Green Dude is here. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. And then I can just kind of see I fucked it up. But I think that'll be good. So, you know, stop the recording. Now we got that video. And it's a gig, which is just awesome because we're at what, like where is it saved to? Documents. Okay. I mean, we're at a low resolution. What is this? 512 by 424, and a minute is a whole gigabyte. So let me go find that file. Oh. Okay. Yeah, just toss it in my documents. I guess I could specify where that needs to go. Whoa. All right, so I'm gonna cut that, put put it where the other ones are. Videos. I just moved those to a different location. Oh. So, the handy dandy. Let me see here. Okay. So originally this folder was in videos called Subway Car. There we are. IP data. Paste. Now, this is probably going to take a while. But what I'm doing here, let me just maximize this. Ooh, that's good. So I'm back in Splashtop, communicating with another computer here on the premises. That's going to run the Mocap software, and I'm going to grab that video here and then push it onto the desktop of that machine, and it's going to take a minute. So let's talk about what we're going to do. And I'm going to show you guys what I've done with this before and how I did it with the motion capture. Okay, so here is Green Dude. Pause that and bring it onto a monitor y'all can see. I have kind of, no, come on, teased this video, but let me see if I can't put the desktop audio on there too. Okay. So what are we looking at? We're looking at me dancing. Okay. And in this scene, Green Dude is riding the Chicago Brown line and just shaking his ass, enjoying life, right? So how I did that was I literally danced to a track that was at 120 beats per minute, and then tracked that the same way we just did here. So one thing I wanted to do tonight, if we have time, was add this scene and do what the part of the mocap that I need to add to this scene. Turn this volume down a little bit. All right, Sir Travelby is here. Hey babe, are you here? Could you let TJ in? Thanks, honey. All right, bye. Okay. So in this scene, at some point, Travel Bee, the spaceship, is going to fly in and around and back up on Chicago and all that shit, right? And then Green Dude is going to get into Travel Bee. So what I need to do is basically start dancing to another beat at 120 beats per minute. Okay, and then kind of figure how I would navigate from that to maybe climbing into a chair, right? So maybe I do something like, you know, I'm dancing and then like I go over and then I like go like this, you know, and kind of like turn the chair, right? And however I do that, I want to kind of allow myself the ability to make it seem like Green Dude just stopped dancing, went, oh, there's my guy, my ride's here, I'm out, you know, and then like leaves the train and then gets into the fucking spaceship, right? So it looks like, and there's so much that needs to be adjusted here still. Like I can pull Green Dude further back into the train, right? And that way he's right by the door. Or I can start dancing like how, you know, just whatever. And then in the motion capture, I can actually back up, you know, however many feet that is, and then turn and then jump in the chair, right? So that's, you guys are witnessing my brain figuring it out. But so yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. But before we do that, I will we're gonna do an example of I'm gonna show you how we put it all together. But we're still uploading that file, as you can see. TJ is here. And give me like 4 minutes and I will be right back. But this is going to be awesome. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. This is going to be so rad. Oh, and one other thing. I'm not saying there's a bunch of people watching right now. I don't really know because for some reason I can't find my chat window and I forgot about that and I need to figure that out in OBS. And the delay is so off with me going to just, you know, my Chrome browser and being on the create stage. So anyways, I'll figure that out. I'm sorry I'm not chatting. But this is episode 4, so we'll get to all the details as soon as possible. I'll be right back. shit. Gotta love that. DJ telling Marta not to work too hard. That is not going to happen. Not meant for kids. I meant that when I selected that button. Although, this isn't exactly rated R. So, TJ's here. He's going to come up. I'm going to introduce him. He's been listening to the show, so he has a general idea of what we're going to do. I'm going to do a recap. Hey, buddy. Here, grab that stool. Hello, world. Boy.
Hey, you know what? I forgot to bring, because I owe you one of these. I've got, I got that.
Yeah. You've got that other one.
Next time I'll bring.
Oh, yeah, because that one's like as old as it gets.
But this is nice. This feels good.
I'm just surprised it's still functioning. Like, so, anyways, come in a little bit. Introduce yourself.
Well, hello world. TJ Travelby. How you doing?
And TJ.
I like to make music. Yeah, I'm a creative technologist, a music producer, writer, creator. I got the bug bad ever since I was little. So, I got stuff out there. Check it out. Lots of tunes.
We're going to do an artist interview with you a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically going to be this, okay? Because I went online and I Googled artist interview, DJ interview, musician interview, and I just was copying and pasting this and putting it in the notes.
Yeah.
No, I don't. That's all I have. So I've got like 400 questions, and
you got time for 5.
And I didn't like go through it. So what we'll do is we'll just, how about this one? How about this one? Because I have on my list of things to do is that we sit down. I sit down and I format the artist interview questions because it's important. And then I got a couple of ones if I remember from like mograph.com. They got a couple good ones, so I don't mind.
All right, man.
A, promoting them, and B, copping some of their brilliance because it's just good. It's just good show.
Well, just stealing. That's all we do.
It's all everyone does. It was
thievery, love and thievery.
I got. Do you remember the clothing brand Van Dutch?
Yeah.
Von Dutch.
Yeah.
There's a Hulu documentary that I was basically listening to while I was setting up today. Kind of had it on the iPad, so I was kind of view it, but it's it's just a documentary, so you can mostly listen to it, and it goes through the whole story. And are you familiar with the original artist?
I do not know the brand.
Okay, well, so the brand is the clothing brand,
I don't
right?
know anything about it, yeah.
Right, but the Von Dutch was actually an artist who was famous doing like pinstriping and hot rod like car design and shit.
Oh, that's cool.
And he was just a brilliant punk rock motherfucker from, I don't know, 40s, 50s, 60s, I don't quote me on all this, but it's just, in one of his famous quotes is that no one is ever creating anything original. It's all something that we have soaked up from our subconscious and are regurgitating in a form.
Yeah.
It was also like
I totally subscribe to that.
Kind of mocking copywriting and all that, like making fun of it as like it's your ego, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Funny, interesting guy. We talk more about that some other time. So, okay, this file is
just
uploaded.
To add on to that though, in terms of like that the clustering, right, or the volume of like creative people and artists and people who produce stuff. If you really whittle that down to like the John Coltrane's and the Albert Einsteins and like people who really move the needle forward with like whatever their subconscious was, it's a very interesting place to think about, how do you get to that kind of a level? I don't know.
Well, I think that's something that we struggle with as artists, and imposter syndrome I'm not good enough. I haven't reached that level yet. That kind of thing too is also like a real issue. And I think more so in like in the motion design side of things, because so often you've got this artist that's his job is to interpret the corporate client, and then what's that? I mean, it may fucking be McDonald's, like, I don't like this company or anything about it, so it's like, how do but it's still art. But what I was going to say with all that, though, is that ultimately it doesn't matter. You should definitely give yourself enough credit to be creating and try to be as original as possible and try to push yourself out into the furthest space in your mind, the 10 galaxies over, just to try to go there, but push yourself to create new and, find new frontiers creatively in your mind, right? Mm-hmm. But ultimately, if you're creating, you're creating. Yeah. And that's a beautiful, healthy thing.
It's true. You can create all kinds of shit. People also get hung up on creating for passion, creating for money. How do you create passionately when you're doing it for money?
Yeah.
Because you can argue that everybody is an artist. Everybody's creative who's doing work. If you're producing work in any sense of the word, you are creative by
even like
definition on some level.
Just how people communicate. I mean, I don't think anyone truly ever understands the other person, like, ultimately, right? We still we can feel like okay, and I know I've known you over 20 years. Yeah. When we are on the same page, I pretty much know we're on the same page. It's not like it has to be. Sometimes there's a little tilt on how that's defined individually, right? Yeah. So even navigating that is its own creative adventure as you're pumping out work for this or pumping out that. So it's like technically everybody's creative.
Yeah. So as far as like, where I sit on that, for me, it's like the, career development wise, it's really like identifying as design as a human-centered discipline that is, all encompassing. And for me, it's like, I think it really starts at like, producing music and having bands and like getting together with a group of people to make music. I mean, that was like probably the most intimate like introduction to like human-centered thinking, right? It's like, how do you get together with these cats and like make something great out of it? And then what I kind of figured out how to parlay that attitude into like, a commercial environment with technology and creative technology and design, and where I kind of sit now. Day job, design partner for a consulting firm. It's very much all about empathy and
creative communication.
Yes, relationships and human connections to get to the next thing. And I totally agree with what you're saying. Is like, that a creative outlet can be something as simple as just how you're carrying yourself with a client trying to get to the destination. It's very interesting shit.
Totally, man.
And it's once you get there, you can't go back. It's just
but it's also important that back to the imposter syndrome thing, because we can all beat ourselves up and not feel good enough, or we haven't gotten there, and it's like just bask in the glow.
I got major imposter syndrome, dude. There's a gig that I'm looking at with a just top brand, and I looked at today. I just went into LinkedIn and I poked around, and I wanted to understand like, who are the people that have this role now? What do they look like? What do they look like on paper? What do they look like, virtual profile? And it's just like, holy shit, dude. They're all published, writing, wow. And I'm just thinking, imposter syndrome. Fuck. Now I've done some stuff, but like, I haven't like published papers with Harvard, So,
yeah. Well, they haven't. Have they written a couple hundred songs?
Hey, you know what I mean?
And published those? I mean, yeah, exactly.
It's
probably not.
Yeah, no, I know. See, there you go.
Yeah,
so
but that's to my point. We all get to beat ourselves up because as artists, as a lot of
what, dude? Thank you. I'm gonna apply to that shit tomorrow. I'm over that.
But we all also need to just kind of push that shit away and know and have some confidence in the fact that just navigating life, you have to be creative.
And you gotta have fun.
Yeah,
you gotta have fun.
Hopefully,
I don't have any problem with that.
Anybody I've ever heard say I'm not creative. Within a matter of a few sentences, I can show them how they're creative. They don't necessarily agree with me, but that's my definition of creativity.
How do you do that?
Oh.
How do you fill it up?
There's still some in there.
It's burned out.
It's not. There's a good amount in.
No way.
Yeah, dude. There's 5 or 6 hits left in there. Feel it. Fucking nailed it.
That's the difference. That's the difference right there.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna, just. I mean, I can pack you a fresh one.
Yeah.
I can do that.
I mean, that's what we gotta do.
All right.
I gotta fucking choke out on some ashes.
It's not though.
I know, but I'm telling you, I know myself.
So basically, what I was just going over, TJ, was how I just did. I don't know if you caught the mocap I did with Green Dude waking up after a 128-year cryo sleep. So
What you're talking about, a treatment for a video that you're doing?
Well, we're doing motion capture tonight. So that's what I'm showing people is how I do motion capture.
Yeah.
At least in the
I love that.
in the design, the animation side of this the show tonight. So I was showing people how I do the motion capture, and then going over the Green Dude portion. So part of, and you'll love this. So part of, okay, this scene.
I love the Green Dude.
Right, but the end of the reel / Green Dude trailer is going to be Travel Bee off in the distance flying around, right?
Okay.
And then eventually docking with the L train and Green Dude getting onto
Into the
it.
bee.
Yeah, and then them
Sweet.
flying off.
I was gonna tell you.
Okay,
that yeah.
So with that being said, what I was talking about is because I'm dancing to a song that's 120 beats per minute because I'm working. I know that at 30 frames, it's every 15 frames is a beat, and at 24 frames per second, it's every 12 frames is a beat. Okay, so I know all that.
Did you create the outside there? Like the cityscape? That looks so real.
It is real. That's actual
real
footage. Yeah,
Okay.
of the
Dude, because
brown
there was
line.
like some workers on the train.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the fuck?
Well, I
did you do
sped
that?
up the footage.
Yeah,
so
because
it's
it
like they're
looks-
like moving around like all
But
fast.
it looks digital. It doesn't look. I don't know what the filter is or something, but it looks.
I don't know what's in there. Yeah,
Badass,
I
dude.
put this together to start kind of conceptualizing what's happening with this part of the project.
Yeah.
But as I was saying earlier, it's just inspiring so much. So how I need to approach this is with the motion capture is I need to be dancing to another song at 120 beats a minute, and either I can move Green Dude and have him back, but I like where he sings, so probably in the motion capture I'm gonna want to step back several feet, and then I'm gonna kind of go off to my right and then climb into a chair,
Sure.
which will kind of emulate, so I'll probably have this chair.
And you're gonna do that right here?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right here, right now.
green screen.
No, this is all motion capture. So we'll go into that. So let's pause this.
Motion capture in the sense that you're gonna take a picture every interval of time, or
Well, I
what's the
guess
difference between taking a video and motion capture? Because I thought motion capture was like you do the clay and you change it a little bit, take a picture, change it a little bit, take a picture.
that's
Stop motion.
yes. But what I'm referring to specifically with motion capture is that we're collecting the data of a humanoid form moving throughout time. It's taking the shots that are being recorded are at some really small kind of square resolution, like 500 by something, right? And they're at 30 frames a second, and it's capturing my movements through the infrared camera that's sitting right there. Okay.
So are you gonna put on a green suit?
No,
That's not you.
that is me.
It's your movements, but
Right.
that's not you in a green suit.
No.
Okay. So you ping somehow you're pinging the green character to the elbow to the joints.
No, the software does that.
Okay.
And that's this software. The footage I just shot with the infrared camera tracks me as data in that way. So that minute and a half at that low resolution was a gig.
Yeah.
It's a lot of data, right? So then that data I mash up with the actual object, the three-dimensional object, in this case Green Dude, right? And then I motion track that with these software algorithms to mold to weld the two things together.
Yeah.
That's the data from me dancing.
Yeah.
And then the actual physical. Yeah. So, and I'll show you how that works. So we're gonna do that right now.
No, that's cool. You know, back in the day, I had a project with I believe the name of the library is Pose, but it's like a Google. It's a Google like human form algo. I'm pretty sure it's called Pose.
Yeah, I mean,
and it basically, you put Adobe, it on top of the form, and it just picks up the.
Adobe has one I just find called character animation, and I think it only works with 2D software, but basically it even does the mouth, and you can use your webcam, so you don't even need an infrared camera. I mean, ideally, what I want to do is get one of the Mocap suits because they have that one that's like $2,500. And it's changed the game, Instead of being
like the dots
$10,000, it's sensors.
Yeah.
That interface with your computer.
Right.
So the sensors.
So it's not even visual. It's like MIDI kind of.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So it does the same thing I'm doing, but instead of tracking through infrared, data, it's tracking through the data based on the location of itself.
Got it.
As I move, and it's recorded, right? So, okay. Now we're in Mocap Studio. 1118. All right, so I'm going to grab this. I think I just drop it on. It's a male, and I am 6'2". So you got to dial that in. You just literally, I just dragged and dropped that on. 6'2". Yep. Okay. So now that I've got that, see the T-pose? So you have to start off in a T-pose. That's what this algorithm and this software is set up to do. So now I go up to File, and I'm going to set a target character. And then I'm going to go down to...
is this the same flow you did to create the initial Green Man stuff?
Yes.
Or is this different? Okay.
This is the exact same workflow. So then I believe this is the correct FBX, but we'll.
Dude, so that's awesome because the takeaway there is that's you dancing. That's not. That's not some bullshit.
No.
Dancing thing.
No, that's
actually you dancing.
Right.
You got moves, dude.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, but I mean I tell people that if we're at a club or I'm like,
so
that's
perfect.
Me dancing. They're like, what?
Yeah,
really? I'm like, yeah.
They probably don't believe you.
I don't know.
It's so dope.
I mean, at that point, we're usually in a conversation about animation, shit like that. So it's it's not like I just say it out of nowhere.
Couldn't you see though? Couldn't you easily see that there would be like, just make them dance?
I mean, sure. Well, the coolest thing about all this is that you don't have to have this motion tracking software. Okay, you can create your dude. And I was talking about, so there's this new iOS app that I just found out. I don't know how new it is. It's got to be relatively new. From Maxon, which is they create Cinema 4D, my main 3D animation program, right? And so I pay for the Maxon One, I think it's called. I get all their shit. I pay it every month, whatever it is. And so with that is this new modeling app called Forger. And so within 45 minutes, dude, I was able to create this dude, and then I just airdropped the dude to my phone from my phone. I put it up on Dropbox, from the iPad, and then downloaded it, and bam, uploaded it to Maximo, which is owned by Adobe. Maximo is you can buy and purchase characters, humanoid or any kind of animated character, but you can also take your own model of a character and then upload it to Maximo and scroll through their hundreds of different jams. They've got a capoeira one that's 40 seconds long. They've got all sorts of different stuff that
So you can make your guys do.
Yeah, so you could use it in a game or whatever, So I mean, all that, and that's all free.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool what you can do in general, with this. But for me, I just like to do my own shit. And okay,
just for the listeners at home, don't be confused. The Maximo by IBM is some like crazy ass like asset management software for enterprise.
Yeah,
I guess it's functionally different enough to where they didn't get into a legal charade.
I guess. Fuck, where is this damn thing? I could probably show you right now. Let me just look this up real quick, because I just recently was working on it. It's Mixamo.
Oh, there you go.
Shit. What the fuck? All right, let's do this real quick. So,
Dude, I gotta do this. I need my whole family needs to be.
I agree. What the fuck? All right.
This is some Web 3.0 stuff.
Okay, so I'm gonna go here, log in.
And you said this is just something free with like Adobe. Online?
So there's my dude. So I made this guy in the Forger.
Jesus, dude, put a jockstrap on this thing. This is like.
Well, I mean, he's an alien fucking warrior.
Jesus,
like I haven't given him clothes.
I can't show this to my
but
daughters. I mean, it's just way too weird.
Okay, well that's your call. But the cool thing about this, right, is that let's see. Oh, here's one. It's called Dying. So I click on Dying, and
and then you're gonna
uploads,
make your guy do
and
that.
then boom, it looks like a real fucking person, like acting it out, which it probably was in a motion capture suit, right?
Yeah.
So how fucking cool is that? And that's the coolest thing about Forger is, dude, I did that. I made that motherfucker, and I started with a humanoid. I made him in like probably 45 minutes. Just kind of make a weird looking badass dude, and boom.
Jeez, just put some shorts on him or something.
No,
No.
not yet. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's that. Let's get back to what we're doing here. Back to splash top. Back to there. Okay, so let's maximize this. Now I want to go to File, Set Target Character, and then we're going to do Green Dude FBX. Okay, so at this point, I can go to tracking. All right, let's just make sure. I would suggest getting to know all of these different settings to maximize your results, which I will go through.
I wonder, is that pose option? Is that what I was talking about? Like, those are the joints.
Yeah, I mean, single.
It's like an open source library. Like the way where it was deployed was Google Next. It was like basically they were showing like. It was an exhibit where people would like shoot the shot, and then in the side you could see like their form in that, a translation of their form in real time, right? Working with the basketball.
They've been developing this stuff for a long time.
This is 5 years ago, probably.
Yeah. So this product came out 10, 12 years ago, and it's the second Xbox Kinect control, camera. So they had the original one. I mean, you've seen it,
Yeah.
That's just the newer one, but
this is just the camera, though. This isn't the console. This is the game console.
No.
This is an accessory.
No, that's running through the computer. All right, so now we got this, and I'm at 0. So let's just go to tracking, and we're gonna go track forward. Okay. All right, that's already fucked up. Let's see if it actually... Alright, I'm hoping that the leg bounces back. I'll have to redo this.
The leg got crimped.
There's some finessing this, and also as I was doing the live demo earlier when I actually recorded this, because we did this here tonight, I was kind of showing how it can get stuck like that, and you can fix that. Let's see if it resets when I lay down. So this is basically, we're doing the scene where
you're getting in the bee.
No, I'm at this point. I'm inside the bee, inside of my cryo sleep chamber.
Okay.
And I'm waking up. What I'm doing is I'm getting in position to wake up. There you go. The legs are tracking now, I think.
Well, one leg.
Oh fuck. All right. So I'm waking from this moment on. I'm waking up after 128 years of cryo sleep. And keep in mind, folks, I could probably just start this over and check out some of the tracking, but we'll do this right now and just see how it rolls. As you can imagine, there's a bunch of tweaking, and it's also like the recording you get. The better recording you get, like, because I was explaining it as I was doing it, I wasn't paying attention exactly where my feet were. And then that thing, because I kind of came out of view of the camera, one leg was behind the other, I was on an angle, and then my leg got like flipped up, you know, and that's why it's stuck. We'll be able to watch the whole thing when it's done. It's obviously taking its time.
So what, this is like a rendering job happening? It's just pairing it up between...
Yeah.
It's taking your motion and then mapping it onto the Green Dude and then...
Right.
Like, sort of saving that? Or?
Yeah. It's tracking my
once you do
FBX.
once you do this once, then you can bring that movement, that character with that movement...
I can export this into Cinema 4D or any other 3D application, and then we've got that.
I mean, I kind of like you in the blue, too. I mean, it's something interesting. It's kind
All
of...
right, so now I'm getting up. All right, the track's really bad. Fuck.
I think you need to do it naked, man. Your clothes are messing it up.
Yeah, well, unfortunately...
All the top people do this naked. It's known.
Now, if I'd made sure my feet were better seen in the original recording from the beginning, or I hadn't turned like I did so slowly.
You just sort of lost it.
And then it just gets trapped up.
Yeah.
So now I'm stretching. Oh, I just woke up after 128 years. Oh, you know?
I'm telling you, that looks cool as shit right there. I mean, dude, with the light behind you.
Yeah, but this is video, man.
I know, but
I can't put that into a 3D,
right
3D environment.
Seriously, just take a screenshot of that like this, and we're done. We got it.
Well, there we go. I can do that anytime.
Just right there.
All right. Yeah, this should finish up and we can watch it back. Is it still tracking?
You got your legs back.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Ultimately, if you go and just redo this sometimes, all you have to do is just start the process over. Or, you know, skip around in the part of the video and then start it, and it'll all catch up.
Green Dude's in a compromised position.
All right, so let's see. Pose. No, we'll go through some of this. So, actor. Save actor. We'll go to the back. Tracking. there's a part here where you select to put your animation on top of the actual pose. Is it? Oh, overlaid. Okay. So now we can play this back and it should be normal time. And keep in mind, we could redo this, but it just took 5 minutes to do the first one. So if I were to redo it again, maybe tweak some of the settings, boom, it all pops into place. It's not that hard to get it to work. Mm-hmm. And then you can go in and edit it, at any point in time. That's me. I'm kind of waking up in the cryo sleep. It's like fucking, coming to.
I'm telling you, dude, this is Oscars. This is amazing. Like the method acting here. I mean, I feel it. I feel your tiredness.
Oh, I'm waking. Oh my God! Travel. All the steam and smoke's coming out. Oh, I gotta get out of this fucking thing. Oh man. Oh shit.
You're like.
Oh, where the fuck am I? Who am I? What is this shit? Oh, I gotta stand up. Oh my God. And I stretch. Green Dude stretches. What? I'm alive. I'm here.
Right there, dude.
This is awesome. Yeah. Let's go. Green Dude. Gonna conquer the world, the universe. Yeah. So, there you go. So that's that. I just wanted to show that to everybody. I will go and do a further tracking video on all the specifics as to how I do what I do when I do what I do. I did walk people through, it a couple times now since I re-explained things to you. So that's the long and short of it for that. I'm wondering if...
Are you sponsored by Forger? You should get some...
That'd be sponsored by Maxon. Yeah, well, we're not sponsored by anybody yet.
I know,
so
we gotta get these guys lined up, man. We need logos in the corner, dude.
Yep. I'm about it.
We're coming for you.
So, let's see. Back to Splash Top. And then now we got the Mac Pro up in the corner. Dude. All right?
Dude.
It's awesome.
Right back in there.
Okay, so maybe we should do the artist interview.
Sure.
It's always good to just put a motherfucker on the spot.
Are you ready for your interview?
I asked, I hit up Striz and I'm like, Striz, yo, I need to get,
Are they out of Swig tonight?
Well, Striz has nothing to do with it, although he is performing at Swig on Black Friday.
That's next
at
Friday?
Swig for Duke's
next
night.
Friday.
So Duke actually...
Duke was Thursday, though.
So, yeah, I know, but they always do that Friday before Thanksgiving. Or wait, the Black Wednesday? I don't remember. It's either Wednesday or Friday. Instead of, they obviously don't do it on Thursday because he's a Thursday, and that's always... Thanksgiving's always on a Thursday, right? So, anyways... That's... But Striz is playing Swig, which is Duke Shin's night, called The Goods. And, yep. So I had a Striz, I'm like, hey, I need you to do an artist interview, blah, 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 for YouTube. He's like, who am I interviewing?
Exactly.
I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Who do you think? I'm interviewing you, fool. Okay. Let's get to some of these questions.
Can't wait.
Yeah, this is... Woo! We're just gonna start from the top.
You got 400?
I don't know. There might be 60, 100. I have no idea. There's a bunch in here. So... All right.
You watch Succession, the show?
Which one is that?
It's like HBO, it's like the big TV network. It's like a Rupert Murdoch like play and whatnot.
Who stars in it?
Well, there's like Macaulay Culkin's brother is in there. And there's a scene where they're
I don't know if I've seen it. They're
going to interview him and they want to ask these questions.
Who's the main star? Is there like a main star?
I don't know. I think it's this whole family. I don't know.
Okay, no. But yeah. I know what you're talking about.
But there's a scene in like the latest one where they're going to ask him questions about his dad, and they're trying to like make his relationship with his father sound really good, and he's going through the questions. He's like, no.
I could see that. Yeah.
He's like, fuck this.
I only saw season 1, so I haven't seen anything else.
Yeah, season 3 now. It's good.
Oh, wow. Cool.
It's good.
Got some catching up to do. All right. Yeah. If you didn't become a musician, what would you be doing right now?
What I'm doing?
That's a weird one. But
yeah.
Oh, dude, don't put that there.
Oh, sure.
That's a fucking hard drive.
Not even.
Okay, so...
I mean, I'm just impressed that you put so much time and effort into the questions here. You just like pulled down a bunch of bullshit from the web, and there we go.
Okay, this is a good one, and you have to fucking answer these. The first one's a bullshit question, but all right, what do you feel is the best song you've ever released, and why?
I mean, come on, dude.
If you had to pick something, they can't cop out of this.
Let me think about it. I mean, shit, there's a lot of material.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. The thing is, I mean, for the benefit of an audience out there, I mean, I'm like pretty. I'm not. You know, I'm not like restricted to like one sort of genre or a style at all. So that's a hard question to ask. I mean, it would be easier to ask if it was like within a genre, like what's your, hardest hitting favorite song or what. But if you had to put like one on top, man.
Well, I mean, like it doesn't have to be an ultimate
I'm not going to be literal here.
Something that's on your gravestone. I think also like consider like maybe it's something, about your mom, or maybe it's something about, your firstborn, or maybe it's something about your wife.
I
know what I mean? I mean, it could be anything that's just kind of pops out at you. So
I get it. But
you got to pick something. It doesn't have to be...
I want to provide the cop-out, which is just like the stuff I'm working on now is better than all of it.
That's what we all say.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But anybody out there can go find some shit. There's a tune called "Color Every Word" that I really love. I think I wrote it about my nephew who's got a thing going on, and when he was born, there were some things that happened, and we didn't know if he was gonna see. We didn't know if he was gonna be able to see, and that was tough. And I remember just kind of like I wanted to write this song for him that was like describing colors. And I wrote it walking from Yvonne's place at 510 West Erie to Lake Street, and it was so wild that I just wrote the whole thing like on the way. And I think I had, when I got home, I just like ran, past Dave Hostler asking for rent money, past fucking Begley, like, here, take this, and I was like, fuck, I got this thing, and I just like right down, and it's like long form.
And this is before smartphones, so it wasn't like you could sit there.
No,
and maybe you could have at that time, but like easily, just dictated the fucking thing.
That's interesting. No, but I'm pretty sure I've still got that lyric sheet. But it's I really love the words. I think if there was any.
Did you turn it into a song?
Oh, it's released. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's on the Honolulu record, I believe.
All right, well,
or Blue Sky Fable Volume 2, I think is what it's on.
Well, when I this is going to be part of tonight's show, of course, but this is going to be your own.
Like, oh sure, I'll put a link. I'll add a link.
This is going to be Travel Bee's like whole playlist section.
And then just to keep going on this song, when Packy Lundholm heard this song, he was like, "That's some John Lennon shit," and I was like, "Sweet."
Well, I have to say that's a beautiful story. That's exactly what I would. I will accept that.
Yeah, you got to accept it. I mean, and it's funny because I just remember that walk. I remember, having a nephew. He was my second nephew growing up as a young man. You know, trying to figure out.
How old were you?
Trying to figure out what my role is as an uncle.
20s, right?
No, 30s, I guess.
Really?
30s, yeah. I mean, he was just born, and he's, definitely 30s, because he's 12.
Okay.
So, yeah, 32.
All right. So, do you think you could get any better as a musician? And if so, how would you achieve that?
Oh, fuck yes. I work all the time. I mean, I'm working all the time. I'm embarrassed, like, how hard I'm, like, chasing that down.
What? The
it's
money work or the...
No. To be a musician.
Yes,
to play.
thank you.
I mean, the whole premise of the record I'm doing with Jamie Douglas, who's, the Gypsy Revival, our college band that we're, like, got this fucking amazing project to bring it all back. It's all about it's a record based on the vibe that we had when we were 18 years old in this killer power trio band that would just annihilate everything around us, and so I guess that, what was the question again? I don't know. Play what you feel. Sorry.
No.
So
do you think you could
get
get any better as a musician?
Yeah. So
the answer is yes.
Yeah.
And if so, how would you achieve that? And you're basically saying you're doing that now, but you haven't said how.
Yeah, no.
Give us a couple of ideas.
Yeah,
Give us some. Give us some insight.
Right. But how is multifaceted? There's like wood shedding. Like I'm taking apart this Joe Pass video right now. It's like all the people out there, who does this? I'm not sure, but like
so
to like meticulously like go through a performance of one of the greats and like really just try to figure out what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah, interpret it.
Learn it. But the other thing that I was talking about is like the premise is like play what you feel. Like that's my personal goal. Like I want to be able to play anything that I feel or hear in my head, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to be completely fluid with expressing myself on the piano or the guitar or the drums most recently. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately, it's definitely one of my goals as a musician and a visual artist is to like be able to express what's in my mind, it's in my soul. And with a musician, a lot of times, especially if you're songwriting, it's like, it's right away. It's right then and there. So you can hear it too and confirm that's what I'm after.
I think, but I gotta like throw some props your way, like the visual aspect of creativity. I mean, and how you've like in such a short time, at least in my understanding, in a very short time, you've like compressed the learning curves for a lot of these skills and these technologies. And that scares me, right? To take that sort of like deal that you make with yourself to like pursue so that you can be fluid in expressing yourself, to take that into a visual paradigm is like hauntingly scary because it's like fucking unlimited, like music is like harmonically unlimited, but it's very like it's only 12 notes, dude. It's like there's a finite limitation to scope. Like, you open up visual and you open up like mixed reality stuff that's going on now, and it's just that's insane. But to answer your question, I think that to be the best musician you can be is to embrace these new paradigms and to like write music that is interwoven into the tech so that you're creating interactive experiences. There's some startups I could talk about now that I've worked with, who are doing some really interesting things with like adaptive music, and there's so many super smart people out there doing this stuff.
Fucking A. Yeah, no, there's a lot of intelligent people just consistently creating, and anyways, that was a great response. I like that. You pass.
Thank you.
If you had one, maybe we'll just, it's right here. I'm just going to ask you. If you had one message to give your fans, what would it be?
I'm trying harder. What you're saying? Hold on.
One message.
One message. Yeah, my one message would be like to stay tuned, because like there's some really good stuff coming up. But like I want more fans too. I mean, I just I think there's a lot there that I don't even understand. But like I'm I'm just committed to making.
You have to be
stuff.
somewhat subjective because you're the artist, so.
Yeah, but
you have to think about anyone could be your fan.
The first message is to my fans is to apologize to my fans, because I really don't prioritize your wants and needs.
Fair.
Because I don't have to,
Yeah.
But I love, when I get the interactions I do, people dig what it is, but I can't stop it. It doesn't matter.
Here's one I just want to throw out there. Mograph.com grab. Give me a life hack. What's a life hack that you do? Something that you do to it could be anything. It doesn't have to be music or creatively related.
Yeah.
It could just be like, I put my shoes on this way and it helps me. Blah blah blah. I mean, just a life hack.
I could go deep on this one. I could go also simple. A shoehorn, just to have like a long my father-in-law is just the most coolest dude ever. He gave me this like thing that's like this long, and I can just stand here and I can put these boots on like chicka-ding, chicka-ding. And if I don't have that device, I'm like, jeez,
it's crazy.
Yeah. So you want to talk about life hack?
That's great.
Get yourself an extended shoehorn.
Wow. Oh, that's really cool. I can totally see it, especially like, I'm no spring chicken. And quite frankly, like putting on the shoes, especially these are kind of tight, but I can slip them on, and I always, they've got this. Anyways, it's just like.
Well, that's as quick as I can go.
I've
got other life hacks.
You don't have to bend over and sit there with your fucking thing and it's your point.
Yeah.
But it's like. Quick.
Is that a shoehorn? I don't even know if that's what it's called.
Yeah. No,
or is a shoehorn what you put into your wingtips so that they keep their shape? I don't know. It's after the pandemic.
I think the horn is how you assist
sure?
putting them on.
Are you sure?
We can look it up.
You might have to look that up. But I've got other life hacks too. We can talk about. One, I don't change guitar strings. That's a good one. Flat wounds on a bass. That's a good one.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about you don't change guitar strings. So do you just go until they break off? Or
I mean, I change them eventually, but like as a general practice, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, what's your?
I always buy when I go into whenever I buy guitar strings, I always irritate the person because I ask them for the cheapest set of 11s they have, and then they will always proceed to take me through like what they have, and I just like no, you don't understand. I just need the cheapest set.
So you don't have a specific type of guitar string at all?
I don't believe in that.
Okay. Really?
Yes.
I mean, I know you really well.
With certainty.
That's awesome because I know you really well, and I'm surprised.
Yeah.
To hear that because I mean it doesn't surprise me actually. It doesn't because I know you, and that makes sense.
It does make sense.
But
for all my fans out there, it makes perfect sense.
But let's see here. Okay.
Thank you for having me out, by the way. This is fun.
Dude, yeah, no, this is great. I didn't do last week because I had a health issue, and it just didn't work out. And we had planned this is the third week in a row. The previous week you had a terrorist children schedule.
Oh, easy there. Yeah, I mean it's complicated.
No, I mean I say that like
I know. I gave
totally
that to you.
fucking
You
around.
can use it
You
now.
gave it to me, yes.
That's what I said.
What was it? Children are calendar terrorists? Was it something like that?
Calendar terrorist.
Yeah.
Calendar terrorist.
I was like, that's a perfect way to describe the situation. And I totally understand that.
Yeah.
And I love your family. I love your kids. They're all good people.
They're great.
And
they're all on fire right now.
Oh,
the universe could not be more generous. I'm just so blessed.
That's fucking rad. Yeah. No, and
they're great, man.
You should be very proud of what you've accomplished and what you've produced. Fuck your music, man. Your biology and Yvonne's biology, just you guys are making it work.
We're making hybrids, dude.
Yep. Making it work. Okay, so the guitar string thing.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, and that's a great. Can you elaborate as to why you specifically are anti guitar string? You know, I don't need to get into why I choose this or that guitar string for tone, because I will.
I don't know.
I'm pretty liberal too. I'm not like one of those guys like, oh, I gotta have this every 3 months.
Let's do it this way, rather than like dig into like my point of view. Let's just say it this way. If I could speak with a a guitar player who
it's all about your point of view though.
What I'm telling you, my point of view. If I could have a conversation with someone who was just like so hell bent on their particular brand of guitar strings, I would just find that a fascinating conversation, and I would want to know more. You know.
Okay.
But otherwise, I think strings, they're like, it's an abusive relationship. You know, you just beat the.
Yeah, but it's never like
them.
You've never wondered why this or that string or this or that player prefers that string. You know, I mean, I don't know if you know this, and I'm pretty sure this is fact, but I could be wrong. But Jimi Hendrix played with like really, really light string.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that always surprised me, because at some point in my career, I said, you know, a bigger, heavier string does have more tone.
Well, hang on.
It has more tone.
Whoa, hang on. I may have misinterpreted your question. Now, there's a difference between preference on gauges versus
you're the one who brought up the string thing. So this is all you. I'm just
Well, there's two. Well, let's delineate there. There's two things. Some guys are like Ernie Ball, Boomers, GHS. I only use this about yada yada yada. I don't subscribe to that at all, because I know through guitar mythology or whatnot that there's only
mythology
that it's, and someone please correct me if I'm wrong, but like the story that there are, regardless of the brand you're buying, that there are only like 3 facilities in the world that produce the guitar strings,
right? And
they all come and they're all just like packaged differently. I'm like, that completely falls in line with my experience with a corporate America type, thing where I was like, of course they're fucking you over, and it doesn't make any sense. Now that's just the merchandising of it all or whatnot. But when it comes to the gauges of the strings, 11s. On an electric guitar, I play 11s just straight up. And I don't care who manufactures them. I just want the cheapest set of 11s. And that's...
Nice.
That's it.
It makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. That's a girthy string.
That's a girthy string.
And I'm of the same 11s or 12s, depending on what guitar. The interesting thing is, I've learned to set up my own guitars, and I've set up a couple of friends' guitars here and there, but every fucking different string matters.
Yeah.
So I even like with the PRS, I've got 12s on that thing just because I'm like...
Are those 12s on there?
Yeah, because I just want this fucking...
Ladies and gentlemen, let's just take a time out. This fucking guy has the nicest PRS.
I spent a lot of time tweaking it, so it's playable.
No, but that thing is a chameleon. Packy's got a PRS too.
Yeah, Packy's a badass. So, back to the thing, and then I've got, I don't know what I have on the acoustic, but they're bigger than I used to play, and that's because I started doing the Delta Blues stuff and the finger picking stuff in that way, and even though at the time when I put a much bigger string on, I was like, fuck, I can't play it now. I still had to have the tone that was missing, from not having a bigger string. So it's really, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I do use the TNT boomers, I think, because they have, I think that's the one I get they have a larger E string and a larger E strings. Mm-hmm. So they're like mismatched, you know, but those two strings are kind of fat. And then sometimes I've got another guitar where I put, you know, this string is a different size. Yeah, so I do fuck with that, but it's all about tone and feel. I don't give a fuck what brand it is, but, you know.
Tone and feel.
Okay.
I think we covered that one.
Yes.
Fuck, is there anyone left? Do we have to play some strings?
We do. We're going to at least jam.
We're going to write a song tonight called Kick the Can, which is just fucking perfect for what's going on right now. Might be some political satire.
Here's
you know what I'm saying though, dude? Like with the
kick the can.
Yeah, kick the can. Like the docs. Like, I don't know, son. I don't know. We're gonna send you to the specialist. I don't know either. We're gonna send you over here. Like,
yeah. It's fun. I don't know. I'm a little. You know, I don't want to talk about that.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
We're talking about the song "Kick the Can."
I know.
Stick it to the man. Kick the can.
Totally. You know? Okay, so. Here's a good one. What's your biggest barrier to being an artist, and how do you address it?
A barrier to being an artist.
Yeah, like what gets in the way? What gets in between you?
A barrier of fucking time. The fact that I've got other shit to do sometimes. You know, I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know.
How do you address that?
How do you address it?
Yeah, because you consistently produce, you consistently release.
Yeah, well,
You're always involved. Like, you are like, this motherfucker has
I've always got something going on.
3 kids, a beautiful wife, a successful career, and then the very consistent, successful music career.
Thank you.
It's almost like he's 2 fucking dudes. Because you can't,
absolutely
you can't really, personally, I mean, I know this motherfucker, and he's a badass motherfucker, so I get it, and I love him for that.
Dude, you know,
it's
funny you say that.
What are the barriers, right? And time.
You know what? I'll tell you what the barriers
family,
are.
Whatever.
I'll tell you what the barriers
And then how do you address that?
I'll tell you what the
barriers you fucking do always lay it down.
I know, and I try to, and I have to. But the barrier for me is probably most consistently just balancing what you're talking about, you know? Because like lately I'm sitting on this, I'm sitting on a lot of tunes right now, producing a lot of tunes from a session that we did out in LA with Mark Rains at Station House. I mean, if there's an opportunity to plug some serious fucking people. Man, and out in Echo Park, this studio was so inspiring. I went out there with Jamie Douglas, who I mentioned, who plays with Shooter Jennings and Duff McKagan and all these cats, and sort of like, you know, over the course of time, sort of like infiltrated this little network of people, you know, who are out there doing it, and they're doing it in the way that I like, you know, the way, like we kind of speak the same language musically and like vision-wise. And I went out there for a weekend, and we cut like 5 tunes in one day. You know, Jamie and I tracked drums and guitars together, and then the second day, we brought in. I mean, we were doing overdubs basically, and we brought in some other people, like Aubrey Richmond, who plays violin for Shooter. I mean, he's just fucking amazing talent, you know. And so I'm sitting on all these tunes. Now I'm back in Chicago, and it's been, you know, talking to Jamie, I'm like, dude, I'm moving too slow, you know, not getting it done. So to get back to the question, you know, the barriers are just, you know, look, it's going to get done, but how fast is it going to get done, you know? And just like, it's kind of getting to a point with some of this material where I need to be relentless and just kind of like beat myself up a little bit.
Okay, I mean that's all interesting.
Go into the vocal booth when I don't want to go. Like Burton, what you're talking about is like a lifestyle where I've created this like fiefdom, and I have a coach house where I have my recording studio. I have like complete separation of these personalities that you're talking about. Not personalities, but like forms. And sometimes I can't, like the barrier to my being an artist is just I just get fucking tired, man. It's fucking hard. But I have so much stuff going on right now that I have to conquer that barrier. I have to tell myself, who's like, you should just watch the new Dune. which I did last night, and it is amazing. But I should have been out in the coach house cutting vocals.
It's a series, right?
No, it's just like a remake of Dune.
Oh, is it like 6 hours long?
So cool. No, it's 2.5.
Ah, bullshit.
I know.
You can't cover Dune in 2.5 hours.
I know,
Come on.
But seriously, I'm watching this movie. I'm watching this movie I'm watching this movie, and it's 11:30, it's 12:30, it's 1 o'clock, and I'm watching the movie. I'm like, this movie is so good. Talking to myself, and then I'm like, oh, I should really be out there cutting vocals for Electric Garden because I'm sitting on this tune called Electric Garden, which is just the bomb, and I didn't do it. And I didn't do it tonight. So I got to do it tomorrow. So that's my barrier, dude.
Yeah. Time.
I'm my own master.
It is good to take time for yourself and your family, and obviously having that that gives
the barrier is 24/7, dude. There's only 24 hours in a day. If I had 4 to 6 more hours in a day, I could get it all done.
Yeah.
I could get it all done.
How about it? Okay, that's another great
another great amazing answer from this magic man.
Yeah, you are clearly on fucking fire. Oh,
I appreciate it, though.
You know what?
That's funny.
Oh no, dude, I got so much respect for you as an artist, a person, my homie. What I was gonna say though is we need it's got to be like a sound like bloop, like bloop, bloop, bloop.
You mean like the branded sound?
No, listen. It's like bloop. So, and then I have a MIDI trigger, and every time someone does a name drop, like you just did, it's like bloop, 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 bloop,
let's do better than that. Let's do better than that. I
want it to be funny though. That's why
it's got to be
trying
funny.
To come up with a goofy
It's got to be funny. It will be funny. And
name drop. I mean, there's nothing wrong with name dropping unless you're being a douche about it. You're just talking about your life. But I just mean it's one of those things that kind of focuses. So like, oh, they're doing, if someone's just listening to this, they're like, oh, I'm hearing the bloop bloops. Like, well, who is he talking about? Who's he work with?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't do drugs? No. Okay.
Not on the live stream.
So, I think that's the long and short of...
Is that the artist interview? Are we done?
Mark's is commenting. Well, I mean, I don't know. I could go on and on.
What does Martha say? By the way, Martha that's his executive producer.
She commented on something about Dune.
Oh, did she like the Dune?
I have no idea. I didn't really read it. It didn't make sense to me. Okay. That was a great answer. Somebody to see. Call.
Dude, we can't interrupt the fucking interview flow for this
fucking phone. Yeah, I agree.
Shit. Howard Stern would never do that.
Well, it's because he's been doing that shit for fucking 30 plus years.
You've been doing it for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Well.
Longer than that.
Not that long.
No, it's good questions. I'll tell you what I'm all about. I got to figure out just, look, as a message to fuck, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's just, we're coming out of this pandemic, man. Everybody's got to figure out what the new format is. Like, what's the new angle, Got to get a group together. I was out with my main man on the low end, Justin Loftus, who is a motherfucker, and we're gonna get some action going here in Chicago.
Hey, I need to interject.
Yeah.
Total side note. Back to Dune.
Yeah.
Marta says that movie you speak of is Dune Part 1.
Yeah, it's Part 1.
Okay. To my point is that
if they're gonna make the book, you can't do the book.
If they're gonna make a new Dune movie, it should be 12 fucking hours long.
Why? Because you knew the old movie, or you read the book?
Because I want it to be that extensive to represent the book.
Let's just talk about what an exquisite plot Dune is.
Oh, dude. It's just...
Every fucking antagonist, protagonist, primary, secondary, every plot device just deployed with precision is amazing. And that's a lot like songwriting. To go back to your thing, you talk about like what's the best tune you've ever done. You've got to categorize that shit. Lyrically, performance, sound wise. I mean, the thing that is just baffles me about making music now, even though I sort of departed from my like it's got to be like live Marshalls on 10 to like using a Kemper. Like I'm using a Kemper now and.
Kemper's a digital modeling amplifier.
Yeah, it's an amp modeler, and it's like it's wild technology, and I'm like using that, and I'm getting good tones with it, and it's interesting, But it's like it's different. There's so many categories of like this expression, So like when you, and I'll say, maybe here's something that people might relate to. I worked for this just motherfucker one time who forced me to rank my team. And when I had to rank my team every year, that meant, and I was with this company for 10 years, and worked with this asshole for like the last 4 years. And so I would spend all my time like building the team of like the best team ever. And then every year he would like make me rank my team, like literally like who's the best person you've got and who is the worst person you've got in sequence. And I knew that the last 2 people would be fired every fucking year. And those were like the best people in the company who had migrated into my team because that's where they wanted to be. That's where everybody wanted to be because we're making music. Fuck, I may have like lost what I was talking about. But
yeah, you're talking about.
But
I mean, I understand that's a tough position to be put in. But what was the point of bringing the asshole you said? Or
well, I don't know. I think maybe it came back from like the need to like. Just segment, like if you're going to talk about like the best, like there's so many different categories of like what's good and like, it's just not so black and white. And that's what you love about the creative space. There is no black and white. It's all the grays and colors.
Next question.
By the way, this sketchbook, double IPA is just fantastic.
Is it local?
It's local. I've been going up to the brewery in
from where?
Skokie. Sketchbook.
You gotta say the brewery where it's from.
Sketchbook. It's called Sketchbook in Skokie. I don't know what else.
That's enough. That's enough. That's it. That's
open door. They don't pay me, so maybe next time they will. But I think I'm down with the whole like beer thing you were talking about.
Yeah. True Crime Garage does that. You ever listen to them? It's really good. They're really good. They're out of. They're in the Midwest. I think maybe Cleveland or something. But anyways, okay. Do you have long-term goals? Are they written down, or how do you revisit them and make sure you are moving along that path?
Yeah, that's a good question. I know that writing shit down is really good for people, but I don't really write my goals down in that sense of. I think that gets almost back to your question about life hacks. If you're a person that writing shit down like works for you, you want to like have a little post-it on your mirror that says, "I am somebody. I am good." Whatever. You want to read that before you go out into the world every day. That's good.
Well, let me clarify the first part of the question.
Yeah. I don't do that. I don't write it down.
Do you have any long-term goals?
I would hope so.
It's a yes or no question.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I have long-term goals.
And you've expressed that they're not written down, but like,
they don't need to be because they're fucking tattooed on my
ingrained in your soul.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm the same way.
Exactly.
Okay, so how do you make sure you're moving along the path to getting there? Like,
you know what? That's a really good question.
I think,
right?
Yeah, I mean, for some of us, and I think you can relate, it's the fact that you burn it to your soul. It's so deep that so it's there with you forever. Like anything, like it's your DNA. Yeah. That anything long term that isn't constantly factoring that in is like a betrayal to yourself. So it's I mean, for me, it's that deep. Like it's just how I have to be.
No, it's deep. It's deep.
It's that big.
I think you start though with just, you know, are you happy? And I think a challenge is that a lot of people don't know what is like being happy. You know, I don't even know. I'm not even sure I know myself, but I feel that we are happy. But I got pressures, you know. I have demons on each shoulder, and they're like whispering into my ear all the time, you know. Is there enough adventure? Is there enough travel? Is there enough this? Is there enough that? Is there enough money? Is there enough fucking records? Is there enough party? Is there enough time with my kids? I mean, it's relentless. But I think you start with, you know, happy. You know, are you happy? Does your life have purpose? I think. You know, I mean, I don't know.
That's really good, man. No, and that's exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, you've got some foundational shit, and if you have that foundational shit, if you don't, go find it and get it. But if you have it, that's you know, what you cling to, what keeps you going, and what you maintain first and foremost. Along while I'm a dreamer, so in my mind, still at my young age of, I just turned 25. Just kidding. But at my young age of 41, I still feel like it's totally within my grasp to accomplish some.
41 isn't that old though.
I know. Yeah. In some way, accomplish all of my dreams. Period.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with my dad, like 2 days ago, and he was talking about how he like brutally struggled to barely function, to barely pay the bills, barely ever get repeat until he was 46, and then he invested in this company, and it wasn't until he was 56 before he was turning a profit, you know, like in a major way. So he finally succeeded 10 years after him turning, you know, the tipping point of him being into his succession of, you know, the part of life. So the point is, like, chill the fuck out, keep working hard, you know, stay true to your dreams.
You know, let me maybe harken it all back. Like, the reason why I feel good about, you know, this sort of like this duality of like, you know, I don't want to say corporate, but just like day job and like music job, or day job and night job, is that the part about the day job that I love so much is really about just, you know, mentoring and like this a pool of like the pool of like the younger workforce, right? Who is coming up in this space with all kinds of, you know, new perspective and new skills, and there's this like alchemy that goes on with, you know, those people like finding the people in the company that they like find are interesting, and, you know, and like, I don't know, there's a lot of purpose, and there's a lot of like there's a lot of like give back that you can do in that way. I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling at this
You're
point.
Not. I mean, I think you're talking about what motivates you, what allows you to feel love and appreciation in your life. Right, and a lot of that is what you're saying is giving back and being able to mentor those that were once in your shoes. Right. Because you've got this. Yeah, that's You've gone through it.
I've had some really strong mentors, like, you know, personal life, family life, professional life, and I've always like known to appreciate that. So I try to pass that on.
Well,
if there's anyone that I work with that is listening to this and be like, fucking guy didn't do anything for me, fuck you too. Maybe you're not that good. No, I don't know.
Yeah, one of the questions that I was going to ask you did have to do with basically, how do you give back as an artist? And I think
I don't know if you can hear him. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's talking about giving back as an artist, and honestly, I don't know if I do enough of that. I would like to
maybe
improve.
It's more about
on that.
Not necessarily giving back as an artist, but as we talked about being a creative. And why can't a creative also be an artist? for the sake
not
of
one
this
and the same.
conversation, right?
No, it's
I
not
feel
one and the
that.
same.
I really do.
Yeah.
I think that most people don't give themselves credit as being an artist because they can't say, well, I've never created a piece of art. And that may be true, but being an artist and a creative, I kind of view it like we're saying, like creative interaction.
Yeah, but I think if somebody's like hung up on that kind of shit, they're like maybe they're just like not serious enough to care. Because the artists that I'm talking about are people that are they're just fucking wound. They're it's in there. They can't do anything else. You know, it's like the people that
But to my point is how you give back, okay? Because you are an artist. And you are a professional, and you are a creative technologist, right? So there's creativity, and you're giving back to those you're mentoring in a way that they can't possibly understand. Sure, a lot of it's solely and it specifically relates to that job and that environment, right? But it's not just coming from your only experience in that job, in that environment. Is coming from you as an artist, as a creative, as someone who's written hundreds of songs and many albums, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So that's, in a sense, at some point, at least I see it as giving back.
Yeah, I want to give back more, I think. I actually feel bad about not giving back enough. Whether that's like playing shows or whether that's like having commercial success in the sense of like knowing that like enough people have like listened to what I do. But what you're talking about is not necessarily like what I do. And that's why I wanted to talk about like just the concept of like mentoring and like the idea of like creating jobs, like literally like creating jobs. Like that's kind of like what I do in the daytime. And a lot of times those jobs are filled by like young, really like young, vibrant, interesting people who are, they call it like new ways of working. And like in this way, this like pandemic has like really accelerated a lot of the things that I do in terms of like, again, designing like business models, like designing, getting, being ahead of curves like mobility and like, software as a service and like cloud and like that's where I play during the day. And those are each of those giant categories of technology and economics are just an amazing potential, and that's not that it's potential, but it's the reality of like a shifting of industry of it's like where people work, how people work, and like to have a role in that. And I mean, that's fucking interesting. I like that.
Well, yeah, but back to the subject of the question, and my point is to how you're giving back. You'd mentioned that you're creating jobs. And is that in a way to where you'd stated that you're mentoring, obviously, but are you physically creating jobs, or are you opening the pathway through your mentorship for people?
I think it's all the above.
Okay.
All the above.
Yeah, because the question was, which is going to be the last question, what does generosity mean to you as an artist, and how do you emulate this?
Yeah.
So...
Okay, I think generosity as an artist is like taking the time to like play that role, like whatever it is. But my like issue with the audience here and like the dilemma that I'm in is like not being in that role as an artist enough to be generous enough.
Yeah.
And those are the things that I want to change. Especially as I realize, like the sincerity of my mission to play what I feel, and to whether that's like making time to do guitar lessons or piano lessons or whatever musical creative expression lessons. I honestly I feel like at some point it's like life coaching is like my actual life coaching is my actual calling. But there's nobody that is like bizarre enough to and I haven't created a channel to like accept them, but like I need to communicate and like have a chance.
Welcome to Create Stage.
Yes, that exactly, dude. Exactly.
And
that is why I'm so psyched about, because Create Stage is like that brand alone is everything that I'm about. creating a platform, creating jobs, creating a platform for people to come up and like express themselves creatively. That is the shit, and that is why we are here.
Yes, and I'd like to mention
Create Stage.
this is what I like. Bloop, 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 bloop.
No, that feels good because that's fucking genuine, man. That's,
Yeah, but okay. This interview comes with a commitment to upload a post. At least a 15-minute video within the next month.
15 minutes is that's a lot of time.
Okay, of you describing something and helping or mentoring or hey, it could be a guitar lesson. You could teach people how to fold their socks right.
No, so hang on.
Okay, it could be anything.
Let's get this clear though. For that, so this is the Create Stage. Like,
yes, this is the deal.
This is the deal.
Yes.
So this is your contribution to the Create Stage.
This is your contribution to.
Well,
the Create Stage.
anybody who comes like so.
Yes.
This is the Create Stage.
Right.
I am on the Create Stage now for my artist interview. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And as my my role is then to provide back.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
A 15-minute
Yeah.
tutorial.
Thank you for kicking me in the ass because that's what I want to do. I want to do like online guitar lessons.
A tutorial.
Like, listen,
a
people
lesson.
talk about this and they talk about this, but if you actually just do this and this, you're jamming.
I'm not gonna put it past someone we have on the show that is like, you know what, I could do that, but you know what, I've been smoking
Easy
peppers and making salsa, and I want to show the world my hack and whatever. It could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be, I'm really into
You know
rearranging and arranging sock
Next time,
drawers.
let's bring the shoe. I'll bring that shoe thing next week.
We're gonna start selling embroidery.
Wait, am I coming back next week or is the interview over?
You're welcome here anytime, brother. For life. But this artist interview is specific to, you coming on board with Create Stage and us doing it proper. And I think...
well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm really...
Thanks for having us, Burton. I'd just like to thank all my sponsors.
I'm really thankful that you're here and that we get to do what we do and that we've been doing it for over 20 fucking years now. And that's
weird, dude.
That's fucking awesome.
That's
man.
weird. It's wild. Time flies.
So, I think what we're gonna end up doing is going into the live room and just fucking jamming.
That's probably all we can do.
I got the drums,
dude. Because I've been working on some drum shit. I gotta show you.
Okay, I've got the drums mic'd up, but I didn't have time to mic up a guitar amp or multiple headphone amps. It's like every week is another upgrade to something, and we will continue to refine this shit until we've got staff and
this is executive committee here
and fans, people watching in the hundreds or maybe thousands while we're live.
We're just getting started.
And I don't care. It's a slow build.
It doesn't have to be fucking anything, dude.
Yep.
It is what it is. It's quality.
Exactly. So with that, I'm gonna play some music in the background, and we will go kind of figure out and get some live music going for the live room. Teacher's like, I need to smoke some weed. Get me the fuck out of this shit. I'm not going to do it on camera.
You mute that. You do. Come on, dude. Come on.
I'm just kidding. All right, so that's the live room.
Holy shit, dude. I knew my hat was here. That's my hat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're playing. We're jamming in the garage, dude.
Huh?
We're jamming in the live room.
Fuck it. All right. Good. Great.
That's not even set up.
I don't give a shit, dude. I'm just doing my thing.
All right. I at least have to let people see this.
Hey, that's cool, dude. That's cool, man.
What?
I mean, just the treatment. Like, it's working. Like, it looks like $1 million, you know?
Well, we're still live, so.
Oh, shit! That was behind the scenes.
Putting it together. Does almost look like that's, like, distorted, though.
Dude, this small rig chassis for this camera looks awesome. What is this?
It's a Sony Alpha.
But this what is this like skeleton that you have on it?
Oh, it's literally called a small rig.
It is fucking killer.
Yeah, they're badass.
Fuck.
They
like, so you can like screw all kinds of shit onto it, like lights and stuff, and
yeah, exactly. That's what it's for. Okay, so I'm gonna switch it to. We're still studio live. Let's see, we got her. Oh, this song. I had lost like a shipment of green tickets.
Spice.
And I'm waiting for my next one.
Wait,
and
like LA or
this is years ago.
Oh, I remember this.
When I wrote this song. No, that's happened many times. Both ways. And I'm like, okay, all right, if this doesn't come, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like
$10,000 and shit.
More than that. So
you're insane.
So I wrote this song called "Here Comes the Package" because I was so anxious, you know. Oh, I think this is Bill and I jamming. Here comes There's the original.
Another riff. right?
Yeah.
He gets a sample, he takes it to his guy. His guy looks at it and is just like, Jesus, dude, those are black plate 6L6s.
Yeah.
They're each worth $350 a tooth. And this is 2 matching sets. On Reverb, dude, these sets are like $700. Dude, this fucking amp, and then the 12, 6, 7.
Find it.
So, estate sale. He literally goes around estate sales, dude.
I've always wanted to do that.
Dude, seriously, we should do an episode in his van on a picker run.
Yeah, that'd be great. It's a great idea. Fuck yeah. That sounds awesome. Sweet.
There's all kinds of positive energy out there. This is amazing.
Well, just keep your phone handy. I might just call you, but...
I'll pick up.
All right. So now, TJ is heading to the live room so we can get a, let's see if we can. All right. All right. Now, let me figure out why. Okay. put some compression on the master output to boost the signal. And then I'm gonna bring a guitar down there and fire up one of the amps. Where we at? Don't stop now, dude. The fuck is he doing? Yo. That motherfucker better not be fucking readjusting the kit. So, I don't have any room mics other than what we got, but I'm gonna bring the bass down there and the guitar.
Wouldn't that be funny if you fucking opened that door, dude, and they were all apart?
I was watching the whole time.
Are you kidding?
No, you're live.
Dude, I was like looking at this light, I'm like, this is insane.
I'm bringing this and then the guitar down.
Do you know what a badass you are?
Working on it.
Working on it, dude. Hey, do you hear my groove, dude?
Yeah, no.
You got, I mean, that's captured, right? That's funny. you're like. I'm trying to get into this. Anyway, that's all I got.
Bass down there, fired up the Seymour Duncan convertible, guitar amp, warm up a little bit, bring one of my guitars down there, got the Fender P-Bass rocking, that bass amp doesn't matter, it's solid state, then we get a jam. But actually, you could probably just kick it. fallen all over the place.
Well, I mean, look, you got one symbol that fell. You're fine. You're fine.
And but.
Hey, let's have a toast. That's the song, dude! Kick the can! We wrote it!
That's kick the kid.
That is a fucking, that riff is funny!
Fuck yeah, no,
Dude,
I recorded it also. So we have the record all. So we got the, dude, I'm telling you, these licks are running.
Green Dude. Think about Green Dude dancing to that, man. We gotta cross over. All these brands sleep with each other.
Dude, that's why.
Wow, dude. Yeah. It's crazy, right? We have to sleep on that.
Dude, it never ends. You wanna come upstairs with me and cap it off? Or you wanna come here? So I'm gonna go shut it down.
I mean, just shut it down. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna work on this riff.
You keep fucking
Yeah,
jamming.
no, dude.
I'm gonna go
this
say
song,
goodbye.
Kick the Can is done.
Yeah. Oh,
Now we're gonna do some parts, and next week we're gonna fucking record the song. We're gonna show the Green Stage will show how we record the song, and we make a video.
I'm about it. Let's do it. All right, I'm gonna go say goodbye to everybody and put this one to bed.
Well done.
All right. Oh man. That was fucking cool. What's even more cool is that we got to do this shit while hanging out with y'all. Because we do this all the time, but not at this level because to some degree, you know, we're putting on a show. So I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who checks this out. I'm Burtonell at TJ Travel B, and think he's on the phone with his wife or someone cool. Anyways, I just want to thank everybody for coming out, and I will eventually get to the giant sifting of going through all this stuff and cutting it up so people can get as much as they can out of it. But this is our live show number 4, and Burtonell, this is Create Stage signing off. Thank you, and I love you, and I'm sorry that my chat window is broken, and I'll fix everything in due time. But just keep coming back. Tell your friends. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and keep it real. Stay safe. Love you. Love your show. Peace.